That's okay to say no, as in I just want to know till where you have idea
Yes,
about it.
ITL product, I think it's we can continuous automate the service management.
Yeah, yeah. So at some point in time, yeah, you are correct. If I'll say a part of the definition, I'll say is correct. So let me just give you an overview of it as in what it is and how it works and all those stuffs. Okay.
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. So let's see what is service now. So if you just think about a scenario about any company where you are going to work. So let's say I started up a new company.
Mm-hmm.
Now in the company, a number of employees will be there, and if someone, for every employee of mine, I'll have to allocate some services. Like I'll have to allocate them, let's say the laptop, or let's say the mobile phone if the company is offering a BlackBerry phone or any kind of phone to the employees. I'll have to allocate all these assets, all these services to the employee so that they can do their day-to-day work, correct?
Yes.
So now if I do it on the paper, let's say on the paper I write it, obviously it becomes very cumbersome to take care of it. Let's say today you joined, I assigned you laptop A, and tomorrow if you're leaving, if it's on the paper, keeping a track whether you return the data on the product or not, or it is quite possible that if I keep it on a paperwork, and that can be having some issues, as in let's say the paper got lost or anything like that. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, you're
Similarly,
right.
at the same time, let's say if you created a request, as in you want some information, or let's say you want a laptop. So again, if I make it a manual process, again what will happen? Again, you will have to come into the system, you will have to come into the picture, go to the support team, wherever this IT support desk is there, you will have to get the services, correct? So now, let's say your company is only of, let's say 10 employees, okay? Kumar, are you there? Hello?
I'm here and
Okay, okay. So I'm saying, let's say if the company strength is very small, and if you know the teams very well, it becomes quite easy for you that, okay, I know that ABC person is responsible for providing me the laptops. Okay, I can just walk in over there and get my services with him. But if that is not the case, let's say a company is very huge and number of buildings are there, and it becomes quite tough for you to understand which are the actual people you need to contact. So in those kind of cases, if I give you, if the company has a platform where the company says that, okay, if you need a service, go into that platform and raise a ticket. No need for you to do the manual process as in pinging the guy or walking in to the person who is allocating you the devices. Instead, just do one thing, just use a tool, raise a request in the tool, and then the work will be done automated. You will not have to do the manual process. So obviously it becomes quite easy for you because just sitting on your
like
system.
IT help desk. We are talking about IT help desk. When we joined installation stuff
Oh,
and
oh,
huh?
yeah, I'm talking about the head desk kind of people.
Okay, okay.
Correct? So if
Yes.
this is one aspect of it, as in if the help desk is just a manual process, as in if you don't have a tool for the help desk, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
quite difficult for you to contact the head desk. And again, at the same time, it becomes quite difficult for them. Let's say I'm the head desk guy, and let's say 10 people came to me in a day. So I'll have to track all those 10 people, because at the end of the day, when my manager asks me how many tickets and how many people did I help it, I will have a track on a paper. So if I also get a platform, so on that platform, obviously tracking becomes easy for me as well, for me the technical guy as well, because everything is on a platform. So just my manager can log in, or just I can log in and pull the data and send it to my manager saying that, okay, this is the ticket number which I worked this day.
Mm-hmm.
So for all
And
these
even lot
aspects,
of things is there. What is the benefit of service now?
I'll come to that. I'll come to that also. Okay. So all these examples, like creating a request or getting any service offering or anything like that, that can be done by any of the ticketing tools. Ticketing tool means what? Means, as the name says, you can go ahead and you can create ticket over there in the platform. Correct?
Yes.
So that is one aspect of it. Now let's think it that, okay, I have a laptop which my company provided to me, and now maybe the motherboard is corrupted. So again, I need to contact the help desk so that they can fix the issue for me. So again, in these kind of scenarios also, that is if you are holding the service but somehow because of some issue the service is not working as desired, again you will use a platform to raise a request for getting your issue fixed. Okay. So this kind of issues can also be raised in any of the ticketing tool. So one aspect is when you need a new service offering, other aspect can be when something is not working as desired, when something is broken for you. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So these are some aspects of the ticketing tool. Now, when I talk about ticketing tool, there are a number of ticketing tools in the market. Like the first ticketing tool was developed by IBM. IBM came up with this approach and the tool name was IBM Tivoli. Then on the same approach, HP developed a tool whose name is HP Service Manager. Then there is Remedy and then there is ServiceNow is the latest one out of these lot which became popular. So ServiceNow is also nothing but it is a ticketing tool. So obviously we can understand that okay, people are going to raise tickets in it, be it of any kind, be it of getting a new request, be it of raising a request for getting something fixed. But yeah, it is in a layman language I can talk that it is just a ticketing tool. The broader aspect of it, as in the broader picture of it, different applications and all, we'll see it later. But for right now, you can understand that okay, it is nothing but a ticketing tool. Okay. Okay. So that's what is a ServiceNow. So let me just show it to you how the tool looks so that you can get a rough idea. So this is how your tool looks. So if I'm an end user, I'll log in over here. I'll have my own credentials and everything shared by the company. So the company will give me the credentials to log in over here. I'll come over here and I'll raise whatever kind of request or whatever kind of issue I wanted to raise. So now the question arises that okay, I told you that the tickets can be raised on all those stuff. So why ServiceNow? Correct?
Yes.
Why only ServiceNow? So for that, let's see the benefits of ServiceNow, which none of the competitor tools provide in the system. What all those are? So some of it are nothing but, let's say for example, I give you a tool, okay, and I ask you, okay, I give you a requirement saying that design a ticketing tool, what will you do? So in that particular case, you will have the tool set up, you will have the server set up, correct? You will have a SQL team who will have an expertise on the SQL commands so that they can write the SQL commands to fetch the data from the database.
Yes.
Again, for the server related queries, you will have someone who is expert on the Unix commands so that they can work on the server restart and everything else if and when required.
Yes.
So all these kind of things become very cumbersome if let's say my company decides today to just buy a tool which they were going to use just for the maintenance purpose kind of perspective. But if you give this much load to the organization that they'll have to hire different teams, so obviously the company will not be very happy with it. Correct? So just to overcome this kind of scenario, this kind of situation, what ServiceNow came up with is, ServiceNow told that, okay, I will give you the product like this and you only have, let's say you are the company owner, so you as a company owner will only have to hire ServiceNow experts because the database is there in ServiceNow company scope. You can't see it, you can't read and write directly in the database level. Okay, so if the database is not there means what? Means this entire server is there in scope of ServiceNow company. So what is the benefit? So the benefit is ServiceNow says that okay, I'll take care of every server related issues, I'll take care of every database related issue. You only will have to hire ServiceNow experts, the people who know ServiceNow level scripting, and rest will be taken care by the ServiceNow itself. So means what? Company will only have to set up the ServiceNow team. They'll not have to set up the SQL team or the Unix team, correct?
Okay.
So that is the benefit of ServiceNow. That is, at any point in time, the organization, the ServiceNow organization is taking care of the DB layer and the server layer. Only this layer, only the UI is exposed to the end users and ServiceNow level developers, people like us, will do the development activity on the instance. And when I say development activity, you will not be writing any of the SQL command, you will not be writing any Unix command, but ServiceNow has developed its own scripting, so you will be using that script. So as a developer, it becomes quite easy for you to learn ServiceNow because, as I told you, it has got its own scripting standard. It is not dependent on any language that you must know this language, then only you can learn ServiceNow. It is not like that. So if
Okay.
you have got any technical background, you have that logic building thing with you, as in you know how to logically understand the perspectives and everything. It is more than enough for starting the ServiceNow scripting. Okay. So that's about the overview. That's why the tool is so important in the market right now. Okay. Let's see the overview of the tool. Let's come to the slide, what it says. Let's read it out. So it says ServiceNow is a software platform that supports IT service management and it automates the common business process. What is IT service management? IT service management is the services which the employees get in the IT company. Like as I told you, like I'll raise a service request, or let's say I want a software to be installed on my laptop for some day-to-day work, I'll do that. So all those kind of activities are nothing but the day-to-day activities are called the common business process or the IT service management. The management of the services in an IT company, those can be done via a platform like ServiceNow. Not only ServiceNow, but like ServiceNow. Okay?
Yes.
What is next point? It says this is a software as a service. Let's try to understand what is software as a service. So whenever you purchase a product can be purchased in two ways. Two kind of legacy can be there. One contract can be there when you are purchasing the product as platform as a service. The short form is PaaS. PaaS, PaaS, it stands for platform as a service, and SaaS stands for software as a service. So if you purchase the tool or the product as platform as a service, the entire platform, the entire tool is now in your scope. So once a company purchases platform as a service of any tool, the company is responsible for the database, for the server and everything, as in the entire entity of the tool is now in hand of the organization. The organization will have to take care of the upgrades, the maintenance, let's say the expansion of the server is required, or if something goes wrong in the server, they are responsible. So overall maintenance activity of the tool is there in the organization hand if the tool is being used as platform as a service. But ServiceNow is what? It is not platform, it is software as a service. Means you are using the tool just as a software. Means what? Means we can compare, just to give you an example, you can compare this with something like Facebook. As in, you are only browsing the instance, you don't have exposure to see the server or to see the database or to make the changes on that level. Obviously, you can insert the data in the database, you can insert the data or fetch the data from the database using ServiceNow scripting, but directly viewing the database or viewing the data, you don't have scope to do that. So that's why ServiceNow is what? Software as a service. Means I'm only purchasing the tool as software as a service, as a software. I'm not bothering about the database and the server. Okay?
Yes.
Any query?
Nothing. How it's integrated, legacy partners like, databases and everything. Is there any plugins or integration is required?
No. ServiceNow takes care of it. As in, once you get the package, once you get the tool like this, the integration of the tool to the database and the server is taken care by ServiceNow. So they have proper database and server configured for it, and all the maintenance, all the upgrades, ServiceNow will take care of it. You only have to use the tool. You only have to, let's say, when I say developers means what, you can do some customization, as in you can create a new form, you can create new tables, you can write some extra scripts which out of the box ServiceNow is not written. Those kind of stuffs you do. But the configuration of the database server is already done by ServiceNow. That is not in your scope.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So coming back over here, what it says, it contains a number of modular applications. As I told, a number of applications are there. We'll see each of the application going ahead. And then it says it can vary by instance and user. So obviously, if the tool is there getting used by the entire organization for people raising their tickets or concerns, obviously all the employees of the organization will have their profile, will have their account created in the tool so that they can log in, correct? So that's what is written
Yes.
over here. That is, it contains number of modular applications and it can vary by user. Means number of users will have their account created in it. Then you can also say it can vary by instances. What is instances? So if you know Java, in the Java, if you remember, we used to create a class object. And of that class object, we used to create different pointers of it. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
We had different pointers like pointer A, pointer B, or whatsoever it is. So those pointers, those objects used to get called as instances of the class. Means what? Means different objects will have the same kind of structure, but the purpose will differ a bit. As in, to make this definition simple, I'll come back to the instance. So what ServiceNow says is, if you will purchase
Instance
my
is nothing
product,
but server, right? Based on user, we can, each client having own instance.
no, it is not like that. It is not like that. I'll tell you what it is. So each client will not have its own instance, but the company, if the company decides to purchase ServiceNow, ServiceNow gives every employee, not every, sorry, not every employee, ServiceNow gives minimum of 3 different URL to the organization. Any organization, if it purchases ServiceNow, they will get 3 different URLs. What are all those 3 different URL? So the first one, understanding of the ServiceNow is that first URL will be used only for the development work. Means people like us, we will do our development activity, we'll write code, we'll do the code changes, we'll design the form, everything you will do in the development URL. Next is testing URL. So once your development is done, once your build is done for a release, for a requirement which was given it to you, you will push this code into a different URL called test URL. There what will happen, there the testing team of your company will test whether the requirement, whether the release requirements are properly implemented or not. Okay. What is next? Next one is your production URL. What is production URL? Production URL is the actual go live URL where actually the users of the organization, actual end users use it. So end users will do their day-to-day work of taking perspective in the production URL. In the development URL, it is only for the development activities. Why it is done like that? Because ServiceNow says that, okay, if different designated URLs are there, the development team will not get impacted by the end users, because let's say if a development team does not have a different URL, so what will happen, you will also work in the go live URL. It becomes quite difficult because let's say I wrote a code, a new code maybe, and that code was not written properly, so it will start giving errors to the end user. And obviously end user will not be okay with it. So that's why ServiceNow came up with a new approach that minimum 3 different URL will be given to the company. So company can differentiate these 3 different URL based on what kind of work are they looking for. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So that is about different URL. See, when you say it is there for different users, no, it is not like that. Users will share the instance, that is for sure. Okay. Only the set of people called developers will do their development work in the development instance. So these URL, development URL, test URL, production URL are called instances. So you will see people using the term dev instance, test instance, production instance. It is nothing but what it is because overall the picture, overall the instances will have similar kind of requirement, similar kind of application. Only whatever is going extra for release, current release, only that code will be extra in your development or testing. Otherwise the overall instances will look same, correct or wrong?
Yes.
Correct? So because of that scenario, what we will do is, because the different URLs will have the same kind of structure, we'll give them the keyword instance, dev instance, production instance, and the test instance. Okay?
Yes, then.
So that's about the different instances provide, and that is the benefit of it. As in, end users don't get impacted by the work done by dev people, and dev people don't get impacted by the end user day-to-day work. Let's go to the next slide. What it says, this talks about the SaaS. So already I told you about SaaS, that is software as a service, means the database and server is there in the client, in the not customer actually, in the owner domain. So how are you accessing it? As in, how am I accessing the instance? I'm just typing the URL of it. So I'm accessing it through a web-based interface. URL is nothing but a web-based interface. And the data, the actual data is stored in the ServiceNow domain. So that's for the SaaS. I will not go, already we have covered this one. Let's come to the history of ServiceNow. So ServiceNow was founded by Fred Luddy. This guy was initially working for Remedy Corporation. As you know, Remedy is one of the biggest competitor of ServiceNow. Okay.
So incident management, change management, problem management, and knowledge article, right? It's ITIL standards.
Yeah. ITIL standard is a different kind of concept. I'll come to that as well. Okay. So let's see the next one. So what it says, its headquarters in California, and it is based on ITIL standards. What is ITIL? We'll see it in the next slide. Let's move ahead. What it says ITIL is the most widely accepted approach to IT service management in the world. Then what it says it can help individuals as well as organizations to realize business change, transformation, and growth. So now let's try to understand it again. So what is ITIL is nothing but ITIL framework. Let's say, for example, if I give you a requirement that you have to work on the requirement ABC. What will you do? You will only think about the technical aspect of the requirement, correct? So in that particular case, if you are only thinking about the technical aspect of it, your picture, your scope becomes very narrow. As in, if I give you a requirement that let's say you have to develop a hospital management, you will think about that, okay, patients will be there, doctors will be there. But ITIL says, if you get any requirement, don't only think about the technical aspect of it. What else you have to think about? You should also think about n number of different approaches. Like you should think about whether the demand will be there of what you are developing or not. What will be the demand management? What will be the capacity? Will your tool be enough to have n number of people log in at the same time? How many people in your tool, as in how many users can be created in your tool? Is your tool having that much server space, that much database space? What about the backups? Are you taking daily backups of the tool so that if something happens in server A, do you have the backup of server A? So ITIL makes you understand a broader picture of all these kind of scenarios. Yeah, there comes the term like incident problem change. We'll have that one at a later stage, but yeah, these are some of it. Okay.
Yeah, got it.
So ITIL frameworks just tells you n number of steps, n number of functionalities, which if you want, you can go ahead and you can do it, but it is not a must. It is not like always you have to follow step A, step B, step C of ITIL. ITIL just says that, okay, I have A to Z, let's say, for example, steps. So if you want to pick any of those, yeah, it is okay. Still your tool will be called based on ITIL standards. So it doesn't give a fixed set of rules, but it just helps you to develop the tool in a better way. So if you'll be knowing ITIL has its own workflow, their cycle like your designing, your maintaining and all those steps are there over there. So it just broadens your picture, broadens your understanding of the tool. Okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now let's see the next one. So next one talks about the benefits of ITIL. So as you know, as I told you that, okay, ServiceNow is based on ITIL, so obviously all these benefits of ITIL will also be there in ServiceNow because ServiceNow is based on this concept only, based on ITIL concept only.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This concept, so based on, it's a problem management and change management, it comes to the picture for business effect.
Yeah, so let's
Yeah.
see that.
We know this concept actually, ITL.
Sorry?
I know this concept.
Okay, so you are aware of it. So you'll be knowing all these, like customer satisfaction will be more, then service availability will get increased because of what? Why will service availability get increased? Because of the different scopes, like the capacity management you are thinking beforehand. So you are preparing a server B beforehand only. So you always have a replica of the instance. So if something goes wrong, you can just change the pointer to server B. So the system is still available. Correct? So the service
Yes, yes.
availability will increase. Because of this, obviously the profit will increase. Obviously the financial saving will increase. Then because all the aspects of the tool development you are thinking beforehand, so obviously reduced time will be there because you are prepared for the risk, you are prepared about what all different types of challenges are there, all those aspects you are thinking beforehand. So obviously the improved time to market will be there and improved decision making and the risk will get optimized over there in the okay.
Yeah. Okay.
The next one. Next one talks about the features of ServiceNow. What are the features of ServiceNow? First one is it is very simple and consistent. So the simplicity will make more sense when I'll be covering the applications for you when you will be knowing, okay, what is incident, what is problem and all the stuff. You'll be understanding how easy it is to use the tool. So let's say, for example, I'm trying to create an incident. I'll just type incident over here. It will give you option. So create it. It will give you option to see the incidents which are assigned to you. Open. It will show you all the incidents which are open. So just by seeing the keywords, you can understand what kind of work are you looking for, and directly you can navigate it. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
So these are some aspects of it. Next is what? Flexible. So flexibility and easy to integrate. I'll cover it again when we'll be covering integration. When we'll see how ServiceNow can be integrated with any other tool, then I'll be covering this flexibility and security part of it. Okay? So let's see these two later. Next is security. What is security? So you will see always a transaction of ServiceNow. When it happens through a HTTPS protocol. S means what? It is always a secure protocol. The data is getting transferred through a secured network. So that's why the security is there. And speed time to production because of the ITIL framework. We already saw that time to production will be less, time for the development will be less. So that's why this feature is there in ServiceNow. Okay.
Yeah, good.
The next one. This is one of the important slides because it talks about the architecture. So you will see this question mostly when you will be going for interviews and all. So let's pay more attention on this one. So let's try to understand from the top. So the first, end users. How will end users interact with the system? End user will interact via this level. That is user interface. That is the forms and the lists and all those stuff. The end user will interact via the user interface. And what are these? These are the integration protocols. What are these? We'll see it later at the time of complete integration. So right now you can only understand that all the integration protocols and user interface are lying on the top of the architecture of ServiceNow. What is there after that? Next is your scripting layer. What is that? All the scripting. If you, as I told you, ServiceNow level scripting is done over here in the scripting layer. ServiceNow specific scripting. Okay. Now, obviously, the database only understands the SQL command, only like you select star or insert into or update, anything like that. So now the conversion of ServiceNow scripting to the database scripting is done in the DB layer. And finally, the data is pulled from the database, and database again will return the data to the DB layer, And again the conversion will happen from DB layer to the scripting layer so that the data is returned in the ServiceNow scripting standards. So these two layers, DB layer and database layer, is not exposed to us as the developers. End users do only have the access to the first level. We as a developer, we have access to UI and the scripting level, but DB layer and database is there in scope of ServiceNow organization. Okay?
Yeah, got it.
Okay, so this is how it will work. This is the main architecture of ServiceNow. So key applications is what we have to cover next. We have to try to understand what are these applications. I think you have idea, but then also let's detail. Let's see it from the ServiceNow perspective. What all these applications are, how to create a record for it, what all every field need of it. We'll see tomorrow because I have not it covered for the other student as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
So tomorrow we'll start with key applications. So for the starting few classes, I'll only tell you about the concepts and all. After that, we'll move slowly and steadily toward the scripting of it. Okay? Okay. So any query you have so far, Kumar?
Yeah, because scripting is must or else standard scripts we have.
What script? Sorry, I didn't get you.
Standard scripts, we have standard scripts or else we need to write script from basics.
We have to learn it from basic because they have their own syntax and everything.
Okay. So which script, Ruby or else Python, Java?
It's not any, see, you will see it a bit of, I'll say it is based on the concept of Java that I can say, but not actually extensively. You will not be writing either Java or JavaScript. But yeah, at points you will be seeing that there is similar kind of concept of your HTML, of your JavaScript. Those kind of stuffs are there. Those kind of touch are there. But its own scripting standard is quite a bit different from those as well.
Okay, but even I'm still confusing. I haven't seen so there is no difference for other tools. Remedy if you choose HPQC or else this one ServiceNow. It's the same same functionality. But actual benefit what exactly I'm not able to grasp.
I'll give you the simplest example. Have you looked into the integration of Remedy?
Yeah, no, I haven't.
So if you will see the integration of Remedy, there they extensively write the Java commands. I have seen my friends working on it. So there they have to write Java import classes and all those objects to design the entire integration. But here ServiceNow makes your job very easy by giving you package calls and everything. As in, ServiceNow has created a form like of view of integration. Only you have to do the configurations of there and bits and bits of ServiceNow scripting, but writing those hundreds and
what type of integration?
I'm talking about any integration, be it simple or SOAP integration or REST, any protocols, whatever you are looking for. So your work will be very easy if you are using ServiceNow because you will not be writing n number of lines to do the integration work. You will not be making object calls, you will not be doing the import classes and all those stuff. Trust me, then ServiceNow is far better than Remedy. I'm telling you from my personal experience. I have seen people dying in Remedy coding where they write all the Java packages call, all the scripting is done manually. Yeah, at some point you can say things are similar to service with Remedy. Yeah, you can do the comparison, but not everywhere you can't do the comparison. You will see how ServiceNow is more chosen than your Remedy when we'll be going into the depth of it.
How we can promote this customers like if they're going to be changed for existing tools to the ServiceNow, how can we can handle with interviews and everything, so they will ask, right? So all the things.
Do you know about Remedy? Have you seen that it is based on the past concept? You will be knowing that the database, everything, people are taking care over there. They are writing their SQL commands and everything. It is very much loaded system.
We need to go on technical system and then only we can write it, So even though here We cannot, straight away write the code into remedy or else whatever it is tools.
No, but in
What is
remedy,
the use of,
in
that's, we are
remedy,
just getting the tickets
I'll tell you,
and,
In
for
remedy,
tracking the issue, that's all, right?
sorry?
For tracking the issues, right?
Agreed. On the issue side, if you're talking, obviously that is also ticketing tool, this is also ticketing tool. So yeah, it is only used for creating tickets. But as I told, from the organization perspective, if you think about, organization will not have to take the load of maintaining it, because as I told, organization will only need service experts. But in Remedy and HPSM or any other tool, I have seen those tools, people have to write explicitly SQL commands. People will have to get an understanding on the Unix command, because they are the people to maintain the server, upgrade the server. They are the people who will do the expansion of the database if this database size has been completely used. I have seen people running into issues because of that. But here, as part of the tool, nothing is there, as in the life of client is very easy. They're not bothering about those aspects of it. They only need people like us, the developers, so that we can customize whatever service now provided out of the box. We can customize it according to our client's need. We can do the modification when and where required. We can make the form look more beautiful. We can create some extra fields which my company is using, which ServiceNow has not created. We can write some extra scripts, extra scenarios which the company is using. But at any point in time, you will not have to take care about the database expansion, your server-side related queries as in changing the pointers or taking up the backups. You will not have to write those kind of stuff. That becomes very much advantageous when you think about the company aspect. Right now, you're thinking about end user aspect, that okay, yeah, end user will only create tickets, nothing else, be it tool A or tool B. But when it becomes from the organization perspective, organization is very much keen to get a tool where they will have to set up a team and do the maintainability at a lesser, cost or something like that.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so don't think about the end user perspective. Yeah, obviously, all the tools are ticketing tool. I know I'll go in Remedy, I'll create a ticket. I'll go in HPSM, I'll create a ticket. Obviously, it doesn't depend on end user to get the tool decision. Decision is always made by a company perspective. A company decides which tool to use, which not. It is always in the scope of the company. It was always in the hands of the
Business
company
teams we
members.
can use it, right?
Sorry?
Multiple business teams and multiple clients if have it, we can use it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. Then we'll continue tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And can you please elaborate some course content, darling, so that I can what are the
I
covers,
have,
what we are going to do.
I have shared with Srinivas, so Srinivas can help you on that one, okay?
Okay, Srinivas, okay, sure.
Okay, okay then.
Okay,
Let
thank you
Srinivas
very much.
know the feedback of it, and then we can continue tomorrow.
Okay, then, sure. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you, Uma. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye,
you too,
Srinivas.
darling. Thank you very much. Thank you.